Hey, what's going on guys, me Nexiph here, and today I'm here bringing you guys another Fortnite Mythbusters episode. Before we get into it guys, I'm giving away 2,000 V-Bucks to a special winner. If you want to have a chance to win these V-Bucks, all you have to do is leave a like on the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment down what console you are on down in the comments down below. The winner is drawn very soon, and also be active so you know if you won. Anyways guys, my last Mythbusters video got a ton of support and I got a lot of insane myths that we are actually going to be busting today. So if you guys want to be featured in the next or future myth busting episodes, make sure to leave a comment down below of a unique myth and you will have a very good chance of being featured. Anyways guys, don't forget to leave a like and let's get right on into the video. So coming in as the first myth is, can the storm actually take away your bush? So if you guys didn't know, if you get shot while you have a bush or if you take any fall damage, as we learned in the last Mythbusters, it will actually remove the bush off your character. So we actually were lucky enough to find 2 bushes at the beginning of the game and we went to the zone. From here we waited for the storm to actually just come in and just engulf my player, and when it actually did come in, I had the bush for a little second until I took that first damage. From there I took a little bit of damage and the bush got removed immediately. Now the next myth is requested by Pretzel Dude. He says, can you ride a grenade? So we took this into the hands of a smoke grenade rather than a regular grenade, which we will get into soon. And as you can see, we went on the corner and the grenade just bounces off of your player. We were thinking maybe we might have screwed something up. Maybe you could just ride the grenade and just like the arc that the grenade does, maybe your player will just travel along that. You could make for some pretty insane plays if this does work. But we tested it multiple times and every single time, sadly, we did not succeed. This would definitely be a really cool thing to have in the game. Say you are on just like a wall and your teammate throws a grenade at your feet and it just launches you across maybe another wall into another base. Definitely some cool things to do. Next myth is, can you ride the grenade from a grenade launcher or can you fly with the snowball thing? So we tested the same thing out again. We went onto the corner of the ramp while we had the rocket launcher and we tested to do exactly the same thing as the rocket surfing, and as you can see, it acts similar to the smoke grenades. It just bounces off of your character and explodes in the corner. Sadly this didn't work. I'm sure there might be a different technique how to do it. We might have just done it wrong, but for our test it did not succeed sadly. Packer Squad asked, can a down player go on a launch pad? So I believe a few patches ago, down players were actually able to launch off of the launch pad. So we put this to the test once again. I knocked down my friend and he was not actually able to crawl onto the launch pad. So we tested it out a different way to see if maybe he falls onto the launch pad, if it'll launch him up. So we built a little staircase, built another platform, and as you can see, this is a 10 player left situation. There are 7 other players in the game and we were messing around like this, but as you can see, he just flopped straight on down to the ground. So I went ahead, I picked him up, and I had another idea. What if I knock him down right here and he is able to fall onto it and it does not launch him up sadly? But we did find out something pretty interesting. As I was picking him up, when he was fully picked up, he was actually able to stand on top of the launch pad without jumping. Have you ever seen that before? I have not. Definitely something really cool to see. I mean, you don't really notice that. You never really have seen a player just stand on the launch pad without jumping, but right when he jumped, it kind of glitched him as his head was hitting the roof and he was almost levitating, I guess you could call it. This was definitely something really fun to mess around with and something that was really cool, but I really wish you could be a downed player and launch off of the launch pad. I know for sure if you are in the air, you can get down, so be careful when you guys are jumping off the launch pads. Don't go too close to enemies because they can knock you down in the air. The next one was requested by Archerno. He says, what happens when a rocket is going vertically upwards and someone surfs it? That's basically summing up his question. So we put this to the test and it was definitely something really hard to do. Typical surfing, it's going at an angle, so it kind of picks up your feet, but when it's going vertically straight up, you have to kind of like jump onto the rocket, and I tested this multiple times, and every time I jumped onto the rocket, it kind of slid me off to the side. So we decided to try it a few more times as we had a few rockets, and every single time it kept doing the same thing. We would slide off to the side and it was very unfortunate. So we kept moving around a little bit, trying different ideas, but sadly I ended up not moving one time just to see if it'll pick me up without me jumping. But the one time I did not move, it blew up the whole entire base. It actually knocked me down, and it is definitely a thing that you are not able to surf a rocket going straight up. Kind of makes sense because a rocket will blow up right when it hits direct contact with something. When it's surfing, you're kind of gliding on top of it rather than it directly hitting you. But we did try this multiple times and it was actually in a top 6 situation, me and my friend, and it actually did end up costing us the game, which you will see in this clip right here.
Fucking goddamn it. 3, 2, 1. Oh man.
Damn it.
That
Oh
was
yes.
hilarious.
Alright, try to play for real. Kill him. Something.
I'll just hide behind this wall.
Next myth was requested by Ethan Rogers. He says, can you kill 2 people with 1 bullet? Now this is something that you could do in multiple games like Call of Duty, PUBG. You could get a headshot and kill 2 people with 1 bullet. So can you do this in Fortnite? I lined up 2 of my friends to see what would happen. I shot one of them and it only went through 1 player, sadly. My friend Umi in the back, I asked him if he took any damage and he took 0 damage whatsoever. So I guess when a bullet hits a player, it does not go through at all. If you didn't know already, the damage you do to your teammates is the exact same damage you do to enemies. So if you're wondering if it's different with enemies, it is the exact same. Overall in Fortnite with a sniper rifle, you cannot get 2 kills with 1 bullet. Now of course you could get literally 10 kills with 1 grenade launcher bullet, but overall you cannot do it with a sniper. Now this next myth was definitely one of the funnest ones I've done so far. This is, can you survive by falling onto a launch pad from a high distance? So me and Umi, we got a little bit too carried away with this one. We found a launch pad during the beginning of the game and we were making multiple towers. We even made one that goes up to the sky, which you will see very soon. But as you can see, I built a little platform. I kind of cut out the sides so I make sure I did not hit the launch pad. Leave a comment down below right now. Do you guys think I survive or do you think I die when jumping onto it? Now, moment of truth, we go and we jump off and I had to kind of control myself in the air a little bit, but as you can see, you just bounce straight back up. So this is definitely something really fun to do. It basically acts as if it's a giant trampoline, but you take 0 fall damage. Unlike the tires, which we found out in last episode, you do die from the tires, but here you can see Umi launching off from the top of that giant tower and he survives just perfectly. So we got a little bit too carried away. As you can see right here, we go and travel back up to the top and he had plenty of wood and supplies to build us even higher. I think we got maybe double or even triple the height that you just saw. This is definitely something really fun to do, and launch pads are probably one of my most favorite things in Fortnite overall, just how unique they are. Like, there really hasn't been a battle royale game where you jump on something and it launches you up into the air and you do a parachute once more. Like, overall, launch pads are super fun in the game. Now the only bummer is that the launch pads are pretty rare, but when you're up at the top, he bounces up and something happens right here. I see him flying away, so I go ahead, I jump back down, and he launches back up again and it actually knocks me down. Definitely something none of us were expecting. His player acted as if it was a stable floor and it actually knocked my player down, rather than you would think maybe my player would kind of glitch through it, but overall it just knocked my player down. Now here you could see I got a pretty cool like first person clip, I guess you could say, of him jumping down the giant tower, and that tower is massive. And then the zone actually closed in, so we made an epic escape out of the zone and we actually flanked a team, which you saw the very first clip of this whole entire video where we kind of get behind the team. That's what we do in this clip. But overall, we actually did end up winning this game. I got 6 kills and he got 5, which made for an 11 kill game. Definitely a really fun game. Anyways, that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like on the video. Also subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought about today's Mythbusters episode. Also leave a comment down below of a myth for me to bust in the next or future Fortnite Mythbusters. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.